When the Phone Rings has been one of the most talked about K-dramas lately, thanks to its unique plot and stellar cast, but the performances of some actors have divided the opinions of netizens. Based on a popular web novel, the story focuses on the young politician Baek Sa-on, played by Yeon Seok, who comes from a prestigious family and becomes the youngest presidential spokesman in Korea. Previously, he used to be a successful announcer and got married to Hong Hee-ju, played by Chae Soo-bin, a sign language interpreter who lost her voice due to a traumatic event in her childhood. Their marriage has been arranged and is only a matter of convenience, with the two living together basically as strangers. However, one day, Sa-on receives a call that reveals that Hee-ju had been kidnapped, and this completely changes their relationship. This interesting and unique premise has made the series one to watch, and its strong start might lead this drama to become one of the most popular of the year. However, while most viewers were pleased with the first few episodes, there has been a lot of discussion surrounding the acting of the leads, and for very different reasons. While it's still early to give a definitive review of every cast member's performance, many viewers have already expressed their opinions. One member of the cast who has been praised is Jang Gyuri, who acts as the lovable and bright broadcasting station announcer, Na Yuri. The first episodes only gave a glimpse at her character, but Gyuri still appeared sharp and professional, radiating a lot of confidence in her performance, despite the fact that she doesn't have as much experience in acting as her co-stars. Similarly, Heo Nam Joon has also appeared as very charming. While acting as the psychiatrist and YouTuber Ji Sang-woo, his warm looks and kind personality have attracted the attention of viewers, and fans are curious to see more of his character and how he will play this peculiar role as the story goes on. While many are curious about these two characters, most of the attention of netizens has been directed towards the leading couple, especially knowing how Yeon Seok and Soo-bin are both experienced actors who had a ton of success during their careers. Already before the drama began to air, netizens couldn't wait to see Yeon Seok in the role of Sa-on, since he's often praised by fans for being able to portray a wide range of characters to perfection. After the first episodes of When the Phone Rings, many viewers already think that he didn't disappoint at all, and he put on another amazing performance. According to some viewers, his subtle acting matches perfectly with Sa-on's cold but conflicted personality. His performance is nuanced and deep, and he comes across as really convincing in the role of a man who has to navigate a lot of external pressure while fighting his own inner demons. Netizens have pointed out how this is a really tricky character that isn't easy to portray, but Yeon Seok still did a great job in the role. One aspect of his acting that has been especially praised is how the character is oppressive and has questionable behavior, but still comes across as likable thanks to Yeon Seok's perfect performance. His handsome appearance and flawless fashion style also help Yeon Seok feel more believable in the role of a rich and powerful politician. However, not everyone has been pleased with Yeon Seok's performance, and some aspects of his acting have instead attracted criticism. One of the main points of the drama is the complicated and tense relationship between Sa-on and Hee-ju and how they have to navigate through an arranged marriage without love. At first, there's some animosity between the two with no romanticism, and this aspect is shown when Sa-on constantly frowns at his wife, who barely even glares at him. Unfortunately, this felt a bit awkward, and some viewers weren't satisfied with how Yeon Seok portrayed his emotions in these scenes. He has been criticized for looking too grim and for having a tone that's a bit too lowered during his interactions with Hee-ju, to the point that his character comes off as somewhat off-putting. This has also raised some questions about the chemistry between Yeon Seok and Soo-bin, which seems to be quite lacking, and many viewers feel like the interactions between the two leads are always a bit too awkward. However, not everyone agrees, and other viewers instead have the opposite opinion. Some netizens have praised the chemistry between Soo-bin and Yeon Seok, calling it electrifying and pointing out how the tension between the two characters results in a heartbreaking but compelling relationship between them. Soo-bin's performance as the female lead has also caused a lot of discussion among viewers, and it has divided opinions even more. Her character isn't easy to portray since Hee-ju suffers from selective mutism after a childhood accident, so she has to show her emotions only through her facial expressions. Making things even more difficult, Hee-ju mostly communicates using sign language, so Soo-bin has to be convincing in expressing herself in this way. Some viewers found her performance believable and authentic and praised the intensity of her expressive body language. Others complimented her cute charms and applauded how she was able to portray her character with subtle emotions and expressions. However, this seems to be the opinion of only a minority of viewers, and most netizens instead feel like she hasn't been doing a good enough job in her role. Hee-ju lives a very frustrating life as she's constantly suffering from her mother's gaslighting and her husband's indifference, but she still shows a brave and quirky side, making her emotional journey quite complex. The way Hee-ju expresses her emotions is the most important aspect of the character, but unfortunately for Subin, many think that she has failed with this detail, making her entire performance feel weak. Maybe Subin wasn't able to overcome this difficulty, and she found it too hard only to express her emotions with her facial expressions, so she tried to overcompensate by constantly changing her mannerisms. This hasn't really worked out well, and according to many viewers, the fact that Subin has to constantly change her facial expression ends up being way too awkward and even ruins some scenes. The main issue is that the drama has a very serious and dark atmosphere at the start, and seeing the female lead making a lot of weird faces feels too out of place to be believable. This is especially notable in the most intense moments of the series, like the scene of Hee-ju's kidnapping in the first episode. In this scene, she can only use her eyes to convey her emotions, but her awkward expressions completely break any immersion in the drama. Fans have called out Subin for her weak performance in scenes like this one, with many saying that she looks stiff and a little dull. One viewer expressed their dissatisfaction by commenting, "The mismatch between her emotions and the feel of the drama made me out of the immersion. She was not able to grapple with the density of her character." Another netizen explained in more detail why Subin's performance isn't convincing, pointing out that she always has the same pouty expression while her eyebrows and forehead don't move much. Things didn't get much better for Subin as the series went on. At one point, Hee-ju breaks her silence by making a threatening call to her husband, but this moment, which was once again supposed to be very intense, feels completely disconnected from the rest of the drama. Even after her mutism disappeared, Hee-ju still used sign language and phone memos to communicate, and Subin continued to make a lot of weird facial expressions. As the plot evolves towards a more romantic storyline, the mood of the drama lightens a bit, and this might mean that Subin will be able to show a more lovable side of herself, which is something she's more comfortable with. However, this leads to another problem that many netizens have pointed out over the course of Subin's career: how she always portrays similar characters. This criticism exploded, especially when she was acting as the female lead in the drama The Fabulous in 2022. In this series, she took on the role of a young woman who dreamed of working in the fashion industry and always remained lively and positive despite having to work hard in a competitive environment. At the time, netizens noticed that this character was a bit too similar to her previous roles in dramas such as My Catman, I'm Not a Robot, A Piece of Your Mind, and even Rookie Cops, which aired just a few months before The Fabulous. In all these series, Subin always appears as a positive but hardworking young woman, and many netizens are now worried that Hee-ju in When the Phone Rings will transform into this same character once again. Despite this criticism, Subin's past performances have mostly gone down favorably, so viewers are curious to see if an evolution of her character will at least result in a better performance. So far, viewers have loved the intriguing story of When the Phone Rings and how it's filled with plot twists, and the series has already topped the Netflix charts all over the world. If the issues with the acting are solved and the leads put on a more convincing performance as the series goes on, this drama might become a classic.